The following contest is the Royal Rumble match! Now, the two superstars that drew number 1 and number 2 will start the ring at the same time. Other superstars will join in the order they drew. This will continue until all 20 superstars have entered the ring. Eliminations occur when you are thrown over the top rope with both feet landing on the floor. The last superstar in the ring will be declared the Royal Rumble winner and will go on to face the champion of their choice at WrestleMania!
Welcome to All Influencer Wrestling Overboard. I am your clout missioner, Captain Tyrion Guidel, and thank you to special guest Mike Rome for the announcement there.
Representing the Monster from overseas, weighing in at 499 pounds, Benny.
And our first entrant in our first match of the card tonight, Benny from RBFS. Not a competitor that anyone wants to see waiting for them in the middle of the ring. Welcome to our special Overboard arena. We have the ring set up, our wooden patterned structure in the middle with the water on the outside. As competitors enter in, all will be thrown over that top rope, thrown overboard, one by one, until only one remains, who will have a clear shot at the Sold Clout Championship, currently held by Avric Brightmoon. Will that remain through the course of this show as Avric defends against Steve Sparks? But who's coming up against Benny?
Introducing the individual who drew number 2 from Authority Megacorp HQ, weighing in at 275 pounds, GT.
Well, we are starting out with big, meaty men slapping meat. If Benny counts as a man, is he a man or is he a minotaur? Do they count? We're not going to worry too much about that. We are not here for philosophical debate. We are here for big, meaty men slapping meat, and that is what we are getting to start out with tonight. 20 competitors entering, everyone on this side of the roster with the exception of Brock and Avric and Sparks. Sparks and Avric competing in a last man standing match later on, a rubber match. Can Sparks reclaim his Soul Clout title, or will Brightmoon hold on? And Brock, of course, being the holder of the drama bomb, has his opportunity set already. Kicking things off, Benny and Golden Ticket. Benny absolutely overpowering GT. We love to see it. Golden Ticket trying to get back into it, but can't even land a blow on Benny. Somebody is about to come in straight at number 3. Who is joining this meaty menagerie? It's the Phantom. No less a degree of meat in the ring right now. Phantom, no slouch in his own, and GT over the rope but is hanging on. Benny trying to punch Ticket out of the match early, but Phantom is there to take advantage. Giant stomp, Phantom right out the gate, changing the momentum of the match. Phantom standing tall, but Benny taking advantage. GT can't get a look in. We're filling out the field early on. Who is number 4? New Clout Chaser making his all-influencer wrestling debut. A fellow pirate, meet Damian Farner. A competitor nobody in the ring has possibly been able to prepare for. Yet somebody who has got plenty of tape to watch on all of our other competitors. How is Damien going to do in his debut match? Again, fellow pirate, so he's used to this type of overboard situation. And it's DC Lasser, the producer to the stars, making his way in at entrant number 5. Immediately going for Fana. Phantom in trouble. Benny didn't throw Phantom over, instead bounced him off, trying to do a little extra damage. Tossing him around like a sack of potatoes. And the field continues to fill out rapidly as number 6 enters 2-1. Who is our 6th entrant? Who is our 6th entrant? What the swiping hells is that? Apparently going by the name of RT. I don't know what this is. Very tall. Interesting outfit decisions. Let's see who is in next as the countdown continues. 3, 2, 1. We're just going to move on. And it's another Tiefling entrant. Red Tiefling versus blue. Tiff makes his way into the ring. Immediately right there next to Damien. And Tiff locking up with Benny. Will he do it? Tiff immediately eliminates Benny. An upset. RBFS could expect it to be dominant performance in this match. Benny the first to be eliminated. What a out the gate showing by Tiff. And then takes a missile dropkick off the top rope from DC Lasser for his trouble and let the lab goblins loose. Choo, choo, choo. It's Big Magic Reynolds making his way down to the ring at number 8. Tiff trying to get rid of RT, and he's done so over the top rope. Thank you for that, Tiff. 2 eliminations, both under the belt of Tiff. Tiff's childhood friend Avric again defending that title later on. Tiff proving it. He has no slouch in the ring either. We have seen the Amon Orphans really stepping it up in recent weeks, and Tiff continuing that trend. And here we go. It's Stephen Joyce at number 9. And boots Tiff right in the face. Is Stephen going to see a turnaround in his fortunes here in the Overboard match? Locking up with GT, Stephen and Golden Ticket very familiar with each other. Sends Phantom into the corner. Damien Fana over in the other corner post taking a bit of a breather as DC works over Tiff's arm, planted into the mat by Fana. And who is our next entrant at number 10? It is Boudet making the way in halfway through the field. Boudet at number 10. And suplex by Golden Ticket into clothesline. And look, the strength of Phantom held up. Big Magic Reynolds took a knee chalk for his troubles. And Golden Ticket plants DC Lasser. Damien Fona planting now Stephen down into the mat, and Boudet locks up. Oh, tried to. Phantom there to capitalize. And GT trying to throw Tiff out. And Tiff, hold on. Or is GT going to overpower our Tiefling? Punch to the face. Tiff survives. And Stephen over the rope, and Stephen is gone. Eliminated by Phantom. Boudet in trouble now. Survived, hanging on by the skin of their fingertips. Able to make it through, elbow to DC. Fighting their way back into it now. Golden Ticket still in the match, entered from that number 2 spot. And there goes Big Magic Reynolds. uppercut by Damian Farner, taking down Golden Ticket. Farner having a strong output, planted though, pile driver by the Phantom. You can't have an overboard match without another pirate, and here comes the original, well, outside of me, pirate in All Influencer Wrestling. It's Chris Cinneas making his way to the ring and teaming up with Phantom out the gate to hook Tiff over. But any loyalty in a match like this, very short-lived. And proving there that friendship means nothing in a match like this. DC and Bude teaming up to plant Cinneas down into the middle of the ring there. 3, 2, 1 as we get deep in. It's another RBFS entrant, Reinhardt at number 12. Off the middle rope there, Farner flying clothesline. Damian Farner doing a solid job here in his initial out in All Influencer Wrestling. Farner doing a fabulous job. Over the knee of Golden Ticket goes the back, and there's the mist by the Phantom, taking down Reinhardt. We've seen that mist be put to great effect by Phantom many a time. Marinating the beef. And up onto the shoulders of Tiff goes Cinneas, and down, and what a running kick there by Bude. And oh, is this it for Farner over the rope? But Bude smacked into Cinneas, prevented him from capitalizing on that. Damian Farner still surviving in this match. Down goes Reinhardt. Golden Ticket and Farner locking up. Farner slithers out of the way. No competitor really getting an upper hand over each other now. With 8 in the ring too, the countdowns are paused. There will be no other entrants until one additional competitor is eliminated. It's going to be these 8 until somebody goes over that top rope and into that water. With no clear sign right now of who that could possibly be. Although it might be Cinneas, and it is. A third elimination for Tiff. Cinneas over the top rope. Big boot by the blue tiefling. And Ticket trying to get over. He's hanging on. Tiff hangs on. Can Ticket? No. Tiff is still. Oh, and Ticket and Phantom teaming up to try to get rid of Tiff. But Boot, he's still there. He hangs on. Somehow our blue tiefling does not go into the briny deep. Missile drop kick by Reinhardt to Bude. Draping knee by Phantom sends Golden Ticket crashing down, but not over. And speaking of over, there goes Phantom. He's hanging on by the tip. Apparently deciding to allow Phantom to survive a little longer into this matchup. Interesting strategy by Tiff. Another entrance in, and here is the Dream, Abel Therron. Abel looking to use, and that's Bude over the rope. Bude has been eliminated. Abel looking to use this to clear a path to regain the Sold Clout Championship himself. Can the Dream recapture his path, or will this be a nightmare for him? Double miss there by Tiff and Abel. Both trying to go into the air and both failing to land a blow on each other. And DC there charging into the back of Reinhardt. And there goes DC. I think that was Golden Ticket who punched DC's production to the stars. Not tonight. He's going to need to go back and produce himself an early bath. Oh, and Golden Ticket takes out Reinhardt. Golden Ticket, as much as we hate to admit it, he is having a hell of a showing here today. But here comes Renace Crimson. And Renace, somebody who is going to have a laser focus on GT, wanting to get him out of this match. GT now looking at getting Phantom out. Can Phantom hold on? Can Phantom survive? Or is Golden Ticket going to get that elimination again? And suplex over goes Tiff at the hands of Damian Farner. Oh, and Ticket over the rope. He's hanging on. Can Phantom get rid of Golden Ticket? He's holding on for dear life. And there it is. Golden Ticket sent into the water by... what the hells? I don't know what is going on. But a second entrant that was not on my card. Thank you, Phantom. Get rid of that immediately. I don't know what was going on there, who that is, or where they came from. And there goes the dream. Abel Therron taking an early bath. And Farner over-eliminated by Tiff. We have that field cleared very quickly. Down to 3 men in the ring. And here comes Handsome Hank, the Dastardly Doo-Woo representation, entering into the ring. Down to 4. We went from 8 to 4 very rapidly. And super kick by Tiff knocks Crimson down, but takes a blow himself. Tiff and Phantom locking up. Oh, Phantom over the top. Can Tiff knock him through? And Tiff again. Tiff spares Phantom. Enter the feral Serious Doom. And there it is, Phantom finally taken out at the hands of Tiff. I've lost track of how many he has, but Tiff, I'm relatively certain, has the most eliminations by a mile, and there goes Renace. Tiff is playing an absolute blinder. We have to wonder, what is the field going to look like if Tiff wins this and Avric holds on to his title later on tonight? Will we be seeing Tiff versus Avric later on down the line? But here we go, the third and final member of RBFS. It's Frederico entering the ring. And giant wind-up punch. Oh, Tiff, though, catches the leg. Sevius up and down goes Tiff, and here we go. What timing for the Dastardly Doo-Woo. And this could be trouble for Frederico because, as we well know, the Dastardly Doo-Woo have beef with RBFS. Both members of the Dastardly Doo-Woo in at once. We never saw 2 members of RBFS at the same time. This could be a grand showing for the Doo-Woo, although no friends in an overboard match as they're showing up. And here it is, our final entrant in this match, number 20. He won the Battle Royal on Thursday to claim this final spot, and there goes Tiff at last. Bob takes out Tiff. And here he is, the Witch Hunter Gabriel Van Hessel, earning that number 20 spot on Thursday. How is this going to play out? Down to our final 5. Tiff entering at that number 3 spot. A grand showing by our tiefling friend. Nothing to be ashamed of with his performance, but he has got to be disappointed with that. Both members of the Dastardly Doo-Woo Gabriel Van Hessel, Frederico, and Sevius Doom. One of these 5 men will get a clear shot at the Sold Clout titles. It could go any way. Normally, you would have to assume Frederico would be the favorite in this, but with both members of the duo, how's that going to play out? And of course, the completely fresh Van Hessel, not to be underestimated. And powerbomb down goes the Witch Hunter. Beautiful Bob in trouble. And out he goes at the hands of Frederico. Handsome Hank finding himself now partnerless in the middle. Bounced off the top rope by the Witch Hunter. We are into our final 4. Gabriel Van Hessel, Sevius Doom, Frederico, and Handsome Hank. One of these 4 will get a title shot for the Sold Clout Championship. Will be either against Avric, Brightmoon, or the unpredictable Steve Sparks, depending on the outcome of a last man standing match later on today. And chops lighting up the chest of Hank. Flying elbow, though, by Frederico. And down goes Hank. Sevius and Frederico locking up, and down goes Sevius for his trouble. And are we going to see both members of the duo eliminated by an RBFS member? Seemingly no, saved by Van Hessel. Interesting strategy by Gabriel, maybe thinking that some more beef in the ring will help. And there he goes, and goodbye, Hank. Both members of the duo eliminated by Frederico. And Frederico and Sevius teaming up. Tandem suplex onto the Witch Hunter. Down to 3. And neck breaker to Frederico by Sevius. Planted down into the middle of the ring, and another flying back elbow. Frederico is tearing up the ring right now. Counter though by Van Hessel, somehow manages to plant that core deep and managed to vault Frederico up over his shoulders. Impressive showing of strength by the Witch Hunter. Somehow tried to get Frederico up, couldn't quite lift him up there, and legs buckled, I think. That dangerous back elbow by Frederico, sending Van Hessel smack down. Is this going to be it for the Witch Hunter? Release suplex by the Minotaur. Knee by Sevius. Hook suplex, and I wondered if that was going to be over the top rope, but no, didn't quite get enough air on it. Van Hessel now in trouble. We saw a few eliminations this way. He's over, and he's hanging on. Van Hessel is still in it. Divine intervention, perhaps, but Van Hessel somehow survives that elimination attempt. And look at the sheer power of Sevius Doom, my gods! Crucifix powerbomb by Sevius. Uppercut to the jaw of Frederico. He's over? Can he capitalize? Oh no, not able to get a grip. Frederico just climbs right back in. Sevius there to play spoiler. And, oh, high flying, but didn't quite land. I think biffed it, slipped off the top rope there. Down goes Frederico. Big boot. It could go any way, and none of these three wanting to let this go. Boom. Sevius Doom, a competitor who has yet to really showcase their abilities much in All Influencer Wrestling, but this is certainly making a case for it. Out of nowhere. Elbows his way to the gut of Frederico, saw himself in danger, and missile drop kick by Gabriel Van Hessel. And sends Frederico over, and Frederico saved by Van Hessel. Potentially a dangerous tactic, although Van Hessel lighting up both Frederico and Sevius Doom with the chops there. Van Hessel, same kind of boat as Sevius Doom, a competitor who has yet to really shine in a solo performance, but since winning that Battle Royal on Thursday and putting in this performance now, Van Hessel cementing himself as another competitor that people need to be paying more attention to. And look at that. A good 300-400 pounds of beef over the shoulders of Sevius Doom. Ungodly strength. And trying to eliminate it, hoists Frederico up. Van Hessel should really be taking the chance to assist here, but waiting. The Witch Hunter just hanging back and observing. Oh, Frederico with that sharp elbow. And there is Van Hessel ready to pick up the piece. Is that going to be it for Sevius? No, Frederico over the shoulders. Oh, and this could be it for Van Hessel. No, bounces him off the top rope instead. Didn't send him all the way over. And running clothesline. Now it's Frederico standing tall, and the Minotaur looks angry. This is a dangerous situation now for both Sevius and Gabriel. Although a drop kick to the back. Wrenching the arm, smart move there by Sevius, trying to injure the arm of Frederico, making it more difficult to get somebody up and over that rope. Although Frederico now in trouble, and clothesline, and Sevius takes out Frederico. We are down 2-2. Gabriel Van Hessel and Sevius Doom are final two. And up into the corner. Could this be it? No punches. Sevius saves his way out. And right back in there. Gabriel going to go for it again. Is he going to be able to do it this time? Oh, over. Dangerous position, and he has done it. Gabriel Van Hessel. That number 20 spot coming in clutch. The Witch Hunter. Gabriel Van Hessel wins the Overboard match and has a clear path to the Sold Clout Championship.
Here's your winner, the Witch Hunter.
Will Van Hessel be claiming clout for the Vatican, or will either Brightmoon or Sparks be performing an exorcism of their own? What a performance by Van Hessel. There will be prayers in the halls of the Vatican offered in celebration tonight. We are, though, far from done here in All Influencer Wrestling. Overboard, and the action will only heat up from here. You have seen these two go at it time and time again. Anytime either got the upper hand, the other came right back escalating the violence, escalating the intensity of this rivalry. Today, it ends. Banshee, Saria Violet. It's hell in a cell. Up next, we will be right back. Hi, I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Lumsalaminsa, and the Clout Missioner of all Influencer Wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats. And sometimes, even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind. TinyHatLabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? TinyHatLabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, and TinyHatLabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet. We are back, and you see it over the ring there, that unforgiving steel structure.
The following contest is a Hell in a Cell match. Making her way to the ring from Sin City, Banshee.
We saw tensions boil over again between Banshee and Saria last week, tearing 7 shades of hell out of each other backstage. And this is it. That terrifying, daunting steel structure. One of these two will be ending this rivalry for good tonight. Will it be Banshee? Will it be Violet? That martial arts training of Saria Violet, proving time and time again to be a huge benefit for her, but the sneaky, conniving, opportunistic nature of Banshee, a woman who will take advantage of any opportunity granted to her. A structure like this has to favor her methodologies. Here she is, our Sun Soul Monk, Saria Violet. Making her way down the beach to the Overboard arena. As a reminder of the rules of this type of match, this is not a steel cage match. The match will not be ended by merely escaping the structure. Pinfall or submission, the only way to score a victory here. If either of them gets out of that cage, the action just continues on the outside. All weaponry legal, anything goes in this most vicious of match types. And Saria out the gate, lighting up Banshee with a vicious chop, taking out the leg. And strikes again. Those key empowered strikes of our Sun Soul Monk. Saria knows the longer a match like this goes, the more opportunity Banshee will find to do something quick and out of nowhere that will wind up in a dangerous situation for Violet. But there we go, Banshee turning things around early on and herself snapping the arm of Violet over the shoulder, trying to take out those powerful strikes. Though all 4 limbs of Saria, a dangerous weapon in their own right. Just as dangerous with punches as with kicks, everything about this woman is a finely honed weapon. Sends Saria over the top. And just waiting for her to get back into the ring. Plants over the knee and looking to end the match early. Not even a 1 count though. Saria says that is going to take a lot more than that. Mind games there, I think, more from Banshee. There's no way in which she actually expected that to put Saria down. She's just trying to get into the head of the monk. And oh, letting go. Look at that maneuver by Banshee. Right there in the corner, does not matter. No rope breaks in the Hell in a Cell match. The sheer torque on the spine of Saria there. That has to hurt. And again, over the rope. This time, Banshee following through onto the outside. What does she have in mind? Uppercut to the jaw of Violet, and now counter again, elbow to elbow, back and forth, sends Violet crashing down to the floor. Banshee on an absolute tear. Can Violet fight back into the match? Again, just tossed down to the floor. What does Banshee have in mind? Just doing a circle around the ring, considering looking for any weaponry she can find, perhaps. Gave up, realized she's let Violet recover for too long. Good awareness there by Banshee. And crashing into the side, that unforgiving steel meshing. Boot to the back of their head. Violet now very much back into the swing of things. And it's Violet on a dominant tear now. Again, uppercut after uppercut sends Banshee reeling over the steps. Went for another punch, but Banshee rolling out the way. Oh, managed to trip Violet as she rolled back out the ring. And sends the action back into the middle. Waiting on the outside. And yelling at each other. These two escalating. An abdominal stretch. Oh, Banshee has that locked in. Saria powers out. And plants the back of Banshee down onto the ring. And spinning kick right to the spine. And my God, that did it. That did it. Bouncing Banshee off of that steel cage was enough. That damage racked up. There was a lot of ki fused into that spinning strike right over the back of Banshee. An unexpected out of nowhere finish. Used the cage structure to her benefit. But there we have it. Saria Violet puts Banshee away. Damage built up, I suppose, over the course of this rivalry. Saria Violet claims the victory and rolls through. What does the future hold for these two going forward? We will find out in coming weeks. But next up, another rivalry that's been growing in intensity of a bit of a back and a forth. The unpredictable Steve Sparks, after claiming the Sold Clout Championship from the Dream Abel Therron, could not keep hold of it. It slipped through his grasp in his first defense. The Halfling Paladin, Avric Brightmoon, claiming that Soul Cloud Championship from Sparks. The rubber match up next. Steve Sparks, Avric Brightmoon, last man standing. We'll be right back for that after these short messages.
Luz tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Hammers, axes, magic, saws, more magic, fire, even more magic, and magic explosions. Still, the door refused her. Why? After all this time and effort, why wouldn't the damn thing open? Sure, it was an enchanted door that would open the path to a potentially catastrophic amount of magic pouring back into the universe, causing endless natural disasters that would drown or bury most cities from existence. But there was an equally high chance that wouldn't happen, and that the magic had been sealed away by ignorant fools for nothing. She had to believe there was a reason why she could tap into a sliver of the magic locked behind the door. That this was it, her singular life purpose. Open the door, restore its magic back to everyone like it used to be in the stories, where anyone could use magic, for good or bad. That had to be it, right? That had to be why she was standing here, in the door's pocket dimension, on a small plot of earth, large enough for only one person to stand in front of it, swearing at this void black door with iridescent veins flowing along its surface like water, living, taunting her to just open it already. So why was it so hard to swing the damn thing wide? Somehow, she had shoved the door apart just a crack ages ago. A thin, wispy line of light seeped out of a seam down the centre. Whenever she used teleportation magic, as she had decided to call it since she didn't know the correct term and hadn't seen others use it before, probably because it was dangerous and required sliding through space and time, but who was counting? She tapped into a sliver of warmth and power to travel wherever she wished. She'd managed that slight opening unthinking as a child, then never again. What was she doing wrong now? Worse, what if she wasn't doing anything wrong? What if this door wasn't meant to open for her after all? What else could there be for her but this? After everything, after all that searching, what else could there be?
This has been an extract from The Void Door by V.M. Ayala. To read the full story, please visit beneath-ceaseless-skies.com and search for issue 378. And thank you for watching Masterpiece Theatre.
Wait, oh, fight is now an option. I'm sorry, I have a baseball bat? Oh, hold on, you're smoking.
The following contest is a last man standing match and is for the prestigious Internet Championship.
Can Steve Sparks pull out another unpredictable victory against Avric Brightmoon? Or will the Halfling Paladin once more smite Sparks? The rules of this match: the winner will be the one who brutalizes their opponents to the point where they cannot get back up after a 10 count. This will be all about inflicting as much damage as possible. Potentially arguable that the match type inherently favors Avric, being that divine magic infused paladin that he is, has that innate healing ability, but they call Sparks unpredictable for a reason. This match could very easily go either way. This time, neither Phantom nor Tiff in either man's corner, those two both having put the shift in already during the Rumble match at the start of the show. It's simply one-on-one for these two. And here he is. One eye on victory, but that's all he needs. The Sold Clout title around his waist. Hyped up Avric is here for a fight. Will Serenray smile on Avric tonight? We will find out.
Introducing the challenger from Minnesota, weighing in at 268 pounds, Steve Unpredictable Sparks.
There he is, Sparks, looking to regain that clout.
And his opponent from parts unknown, weighing in at 169 pounds, he is the prestigious Internet Champion, Rage.
The title there, damn near as big as Avric himself. Handing it over to the ref, that's what it's all about. Sparks knows that title well, he had his fingers on it, and wants it back in his grasp. It's all about the clout. Both will need to come out the gate hard-hitting. Gotta keep each other down for that 10 count. And there is flying elbow from Sparks. He is fired up. He knows what's at stake. He wants that clout back. Avric, though, fighting his way back into this. Dangerous strikes. Clothesline sends Sparks crashing down. Avric going up to the top rope. We don't often see this from Brightmoon. Knee drop from the top. And immediately going for weaponry. Steel chair in the hands of Brightmoon. Sparks holding himself back up. That was a mistake. Chair to the head and then to the knee. Rolls back through, able to break Brightmoon's grip and sent him crashing down, his back going onto the steel chair himself. And bounces Brightmoon off the corner post. Rolls to the outside to recover, baiting Sparks out. Wraps around and down over the knee. And Sparks lighting Brightmoon up, targeting the exposed head. Up he goes, and Avric wriggles free, and leg block. Down goes Sparks. Brightmoon looking for more weaponry. And it's a kendo stick in the hands of it, and Sparks breaks that grip, knocks that dangerous weapon right out the hands of Brightmoon. And cracks the shoulder blades into that stone barricade. Interestingly, Sparks not going for any other weaponry himself, preferring to just utilize his own body as all the weapon he needs to put Brightmoon down, it seems. Getting position behind. And neckbreaker down goes Brightmoon. Ref starts the count. This early on, I suspect Brightmoon is just playing possum, and indeed, the moment Sparks tried to mock Brightmoon to the audience, he's back up. Sparks considering that steel chair, perhaps. Brightmoon back to his feet again. Tried to charge in Sparks and got countered, but sends him over the top. Trying to pick his moment of attack. Waits for Sparks to get back into the ring and charge through, and down with the elbow strike. And back to that steel chair. Sparks sensibly rolls out the ring and manages to kick out the chair of Avric's grasp on his climb back in. Down goes Sparks. And now the ref counting for him. Brightmoon daring Sparks to get back up. Reaching 7 counts. Sparks still down. I'm wondering if that was more damage done with that steel chair to the back of Sparks than we thought, but no. Is Sparks injured, or is he playing possum to take a moment to get some recovery time? I think it may have been that. And hip toss Sparks again. Avric just trying to build up that momentum, trying to keep Sparks down longer every time. Bit of a risky strategy though, because the longer he lets Sparks stay down without inflicting more damage, the longer Sparks has to catch his breath each time. Potentially risky strategy by Brightmoon. Sparks back up at 5, and he's given up on that. It's back to the steel chair and crack into the head, over the knee once again, into the ribs. Sparks rolls out the way, but takes the chair over the back for the trouble, able to punch Avric in the face and get that grip broken, but that was a number of those chair shots done. But bounces him off the top and lands on the steel chair himself. Excellent counter by Sparks. Very, very good ring awareness there. Bouncing Avric in such a way that he landed back on the chair. Sparks now has a moment to capitalize, but took some solid strikes to get here. Will that risk pay out? And we saw breaking the back over. And up goes Brightmoon. He's over his time as a paladin. He's had a bane on him time and time again, but not quite like that. And up at the 4, Brightmoon staying down less and less, taking that recovery time. Sparks inching closer. He, as of yet, has refused to utilize any of the weaponry himself. I think maybe trying to send a message that he doesn't need it. But is that going to be a costly gamble? And finally, another 4 count up by Brightmoon. Went for the chair, but Brightmoon able to knock it right out of his hands. Strikes to the back of the knees, trying to send Sparks down, and there, with that super kick, down it goes. Right connected on the temple. Sparks knocked for 6 with that one. Knee strike, and didn't even bother waiting. Ref started the count. Avric says no, that's not going to be enough. Oh, are we going to see it? Up he goes. Delayed vertical suplex by Brightmoon. Down goes Sparks. That right onto that already injured back. That may well do it. No, Avric pulls him back up. And the Spear of Serenray. That may well have done it. Those ribs had already been caved in by the steel chair. That could well be it for Sparks. We've seen Avric end many a match with that spear before. The divine power coursing through him. Sparks down for 7. 8. Is this going to be it? I think it might be. 9. Sparks just beats the ref's 10 count. Sparks still in it. He is holding on barely. Another delayed vertical suplex though by Brightmoon, crashing down onto the spine. Just stay down, Sparks. Up to the 8 count. We're almost there at the end. I think this might be it. And that is it. Sparks down. It took 2 suplexes and the spear to do it after softening him up repeatedly with that chair. A valiant effort by Sparks, but Brightmoon hangs on, meaning we now have a date set. Gabriel Van Hessel will be taking on Avric Brightmoon at some point in the future. Brightmoon's reign galvanized with that defense. Flying solo, what a performance by the Halfling Paladin. Valiant effort by Steve Sparks, but unable to put away Brightmoon. Van Hessel backstage watching that match with intense focus, I have no doubt. But we have one title set. We now will find out who gets their sights set on Presry. 30 competitor main event Royal Rumble match. 29 will go overboard. 1 will be standing to challenge for Presry D's Sold Cloud title. We'll find out who that will be up next.
Suplex the train! Imbo power!
Come on. Pop more potions. Meteor strike! Oh, I can't suplex it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I can suplex a train, but I can't suplex an octopus.
And here is our octopus friendo. Can I suplex an octopus? Nope.
suplex an octopus, turns out. Too slippery. Can I suplex Ultima Weapon? Also going to start chucking some shuriken. I can suplex Ultima Weapon. Come on, we're so close. Lift, come on, Savin. Come on. Suplex! Boom! Hippo power!
The following is the Royal Rumble match! Now, the two superstars that drew number 1 and number 2 will start the ring at the same time. Other superstars will join in the order they drew. This will continue until all 30 superstars have entered the ring. Eliminations occur when you are thrown over the top rope with both feet landing on the floor. The last superstar in the ring will be declared the Royal Rumble winner and will go on to face the champion of their choice at WrestleMania!
And here we go, main event. And starting out the field, it's the $1 million champion herself.
From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Lady Winters.
Aria Nightvalley looking to have 2 titles in her collection. Had a solid showing against the former Sold Clout champion Glix earlier this week before the dropping of the drama bomb by Presri D. And it was Aria who was pinned, causing Glix to lose that title. The number 1 spot, not a great result for Lady Winter, but not impossible. Will she go from 1 through to 30 in this match? Of course, we know from the Battle Royal on Thursday that number 30 slot in this match is held by the intimidating force that is Jennifer Astorio. A terrifying final entrant for anyone in this match, certainly none more so than the number 1 and 2 slots, who will have to see their way through so many other competitors only to have Jennifer waiting for them at the end. Who is in at number 2?
Introducing the individual who drew number 2 from New York. One half of the...
It is one half of the Sold Clout Double Clout champions. One half of Team Candied Ginger, Her Royal Highness, the Ginger Flame, she who sings on the graves of her enemies. Luck of the draw, it seems, 2 competitors starting out, both of whom already hold clout within All Influencer Wrestling. The $1 million champion and one half of the tag champs. They've already proven their clout-chasing ability here. It's gonna take a lot to go after the big prize. But if anyone can do it, it's one of these 2. The Lost Princess versus the Soprano, kicking things off, and Aria laying those strikes in early onto the Ginger Flame. Neckbreaker by Lady Winter. And deftly dodged by the Ginger Flame. A potentially huge advantage that Ginger Flame may have is her tag partner Candy Holiday, and oh, it's Mac. As I was saying, Candy Holiday waiting in the wings somewhere. Ginger Flame's tag partner. Having an ally early in would be a huge benefit for both of those, though, as we saw earlier with the Dastardly Duo. No friends in a match like this, only one competitor can win. Who is our number 4 entrance? It's Iarona. And just waiting, stalking the field. Looking to send every other competitor weeping over the rope. Potentially starting out with Aria. Hoists her up into the corner as our 5th entrant is getting ready to make their way down. Who is it going to be? Somebody very familiar with Mac. It is Kiri Sajita entering the ring at number 4 and immediately taking a giant charging clothesline from Iarona. And takes out the leg in retaliation. Iarona lighting up both of the smaller competitors in this match. Mac trying to fight her way out. And speaking of tag members who may wind up with a benefit later on, it's one half of the Dangerous Alliance. Teresa Dominguez makes her way into the ring as Mac tries to get Iarona to fall off and get her out early. Would be a solid bet, and the arrogance shown by Teresa standing on the top rope to taunt. Very bold, arguably very foolish maneuvering there by Dominguez. Ginger Flame trying to make her suffer for it, but not quite able to. And new debuting clout chaser, Paris O'Shell, makes her way down to the ring. The Fairweather Friend, she is known as. Looking to make a statement, make a name for herself here in AIW. And immediately going after Kiri and lighting up with the Ginger Flame. There goes Aria, first in, first out. And trouble perhaps for Teresa. It's Amber Warren, one half of the Circle, making her way down. Circle just failed recently to take those double clout champions off Candied Ginger. Amber seemingly there staring daggers at the Ginger Flame. And Teresa stomping over the back of Warren. Teresa furious at the Circle as well. Paris planting the back of Dominguez down. The ring starting to fill up at this point. 7 competitors in. Who is going to be? And the Ginger Flame is out. The Ginger Flame eliminated by Amber Warren. First 2 in, first 2 out. And making their way down, it's another clout-chasing debut, Olivia Mason. And immediately boot to the face, lit up by Amber Warren. Kiri tried to go for a suplex there. Amber Warren just too strong. And looks like she's about to make Kiri suffer for it. Up we go, and we've seen this show of strength several times tonight. Amber getting one in of her own. Delayed vertical suplex onto Kiri, and release snap suplex over to Paris. And without any further eliminations, this will be our last entrant until the ring starts to clear. Tank Main! It's Battlestar Galactica at number 10. Battlestar falling narrowly to Glix 2 weeks ago. Takes a big clothesline from Paris. Battlestar would love another crack, especially now that the Sold Clout champion is not in the hands of a spellcaster. Never mind, Battlestar out, shoulder checked by Amber Warren. Amber racking up the eliminations in this Rumble match. Battlestar in and immediately out at the hands of Amber. Paris lights up Kiri with those strikes, and Kiri in a dangerous position. Super kick by Paris eliminates Sajita. Elimination in her debut performance for Paris O'Shell. And looking to follow through with Mac perhaps, but there's Olivia. Hook suplex sends Paris over, and Amber there waiting to capitalize. Running knee to the face of Iona, but right back up and locks up with Amber. Who's our next entrant? Veteran expertise enters the ring. Chen Harper making her way down. Immediately slings Mac into the corner. But right there, waiting, Paris taking full advantage. And down goes Paris, and there goes Olivia, taken out by Iona. And Amber almost eliminated by Teresa, but prevented by Chen. And enter Chaos. The Mother of Pain is in at number 12. Mother of Pain trying to get Mac. Mac barely hanging on. Can Mother of Pain do it? That's it. Mac sent down by Mother of Pain. Tried to go for a power contest with Iona, which was a terrible mistake. Paris up onto the shoulders of Harper. Down she goes. And Amber taken over, and can Teresa get one of her rivals out? Mary is in at number 13. Here he is. Here's our Druid Princess. And immediately takes a crossbody off the ropes from Amber Warren. Not the entrance that Mary wanted. Looking for some payback, but mixing up with Amber's a dangerous proposition for anybody. Over the ropes go Iona, barely able to hang on, quickly gets herself back in. Almost the end of the night for Iona, but she is able to grip on. And who is number 14? Fresh from that victory over Banshee, it's Saria. She gave a lot to put away her rival earlier tonight. What does she have left for this match? Paris in trouble. Amber looking to score yet another. Mary barely able to hang on there. And Amber plants Paris. Another elimination on the streak for Warren, and Mother of Pain and Iarona teaming up to try to get rid of Saria. Holds on though. Saria fighting for her life, barely able to hang through. But Saria somehow still in this, and Teresa is gone. I missed who got there. I think was that Amber who got rid of Teresa. Ring is starting to clear out, and just hoid over the rope goes Mother of Pain. Amber Warren, the MVP of this match. We've seen Amber really come into her own this season, and she is proving that time and time again. That Chen takes care of Iarona, and there's Amber to try and follow up. And is this going to be it for Harper? Holds on. Not quite able to get through. Saria teaming up with Warren to try and get rid of Chen Harper, but boot to the face. Valoran Anastasia making her way down to the ring. Will a sneak attack approach work for Valoran in a match like this? It's feasible. Capitalizing on any opportunity is the way to do things in a Rumble match, and Valoran is an expert at that. Saria tries to send Mary to the outside. Mary punch to the face. Fights her way back in. Field's been cleared out. We're 5 competitors in as another entrant, 16. It's Metrics. Maybe for the best that Battlestar was eliminated early on, Metrics back into the swing of things. The conniving, wicked, manipulative Metrics, well suited perhaps to a match like this. And oh, this is dangerous for everyone in the field who is not named Amber right now. The Circle are united. The Circle has been made whole. Victoria Holland joins Amber. This is a worst case scenario situation for everyone else in the ring right now. Saria trying to get rid of Harper, and here comes Asha. Tiff was an absolute power force in the Rumble earlier on. Avric held on to his Soul Clout title. Can Asha continue to do the Emon Orphans proud? The ring very much filling back up, full 8 capacity until somebody gets eliminated. No further entrants will arrive. Well, there goes one of them. Valoran eliminated by Saria. Was it Saria or Mary? One of the two got there. I missed exactly who did it. Mary over the shoulders of Amber. Not a great opportunity. And Chen following through with Victoria. The Circle not yet locking up with each other. A solid performance by this incredibly dominant tag duo. Mary and Asha mixing it up. Saria right there to take advantage and capitalize. Victoria charged through. Saria had it scouted, able to follow through. Oh, this is an opportunity for Saria, and Saria sends Victoria out. The Circle is broken as Faria Ahmed makes her way down to the ring. Saria just made a huge difference in the landscape of this match. Mary trying to be eliminated by Metrics. Faria showing similar arrogance to Teresa up onto the turnbuckle. Not a wise maneuver when somebody could just knock you off and over in that situation. And Saria trying to recover on the outside. One of the only two competitors in this match who has been in action. Banshee will be joining the fray at some point too. Could it be next? Who is going to round out this field? Again, this will be our 8th competitor for now, so unless somebody goes over, this will be it for now. It's Candy. The other half of our double clout champions, Candy Holiday, looks to avenge the Ginger Flame from earlier. And teaming up Chen and Saria trying to get rid of Amber. Amber just simply too powerful. Over goes Chen, eliminated. Another elimination in the column for Amber Warren. And Saria wriggled out of that attempt. Asha and Saria lighting each other up as Amber continues to work over Ahmed. Drop kick by Mary sends Candy crashing down. Mary now mixing it up with Amber in the middle. Mary and Asha, the two possibly best positions to be able to get rid of Amber at this point, but entirely feasible that Amber could see her way all the way through to the win, and there goes Faria. Call an ambulance for everybody and eliminates Metrics immediately. A tear by Amber Warren. Meanwhile, the other half of the Dangerous Alliance, Calypso Dominguez, makes her way down, joining, and there goes Violet. Immediately game changed by Calypso. And Mary double chokeslammed by Amber and Asha. Calypso hauled up by Mary and immediately face planted down. Amber waits, tackle, takes down Candy and just unloading. What is it going to take to stop Amber Warren? It could be this woman. It could be the debuting Laurie Bishop. It would take another powerhouse to get rid of Amber, and Laurie may well be the game changer it needs. And there goes Mary.
A competitor has been eliminated.
Mary down. Asha and Laurie taking it out, and Amber crossbody off the ropes, takes down Calypso. Candy still holding on. And there goes Laurie over the top rope. A powerful display by Asha as the Seraphim of the Chew. Associate of Big Magic Reynolds. The lab gates were left open, it seems. She is the Seraphim of the Chew conductor. Makes her way down to debut and immediately knocked down for her trouble. Who's going to join the field as of next? We're getting deep in. 24, it's Keitara. Somebody familiar to myself, Mac, and Kiri. Hailing from Eorzea, there goes Seraphim of the Chew. And another win, another elimination in Amber's column. Warren is unstoppable. But here comes somebody who has beef with Warren. It's the Dark Wolf, Fenris. We saw Fenris go at it with the Dangerous Alliance last week. And can Candy hold on, or is Calypso going to take care of it? Candy eliminated by Calypso. 4 in the ring. Calypso, Dominguez, Fenris, Keitara, and Amber Warren. And here's another game change, though. It's Glix, and dumped out by Warren goes Fenris, as our former Sold Clout champion Glix makes her way. Glix lost her Sold Clout title without getting pinned. Presley D dropped the drama bomb on Thursday, pinned Aria in a triple threat to win Glix's Sold Clout title. Glix needs this win. Who is up 27, and here she is, Banshee. Banshee has not had a good night. She's looking to change her fortunes now. One has to wonder, did Banshee almost throw the match with Saria earlier to remain fresh, knowing she had drawn such a late number in the Rumble? Was this strategy by Banshee? Could she see her way through to the Sold Clout title shot herself? And Lucette Forrester makes her way down. Another woman with sights on Amber, having been torn apart by the Circle when they were supposed to have a tag match against the Dangerous Alliance. It was Lucette and Fenris who suffered at the hands of the Circle when they made their Alliance debut. We're getting deep in. We know who number 30 is, who has drawn number 29. It's another debut. Meet Serenity Spider. And there goes Banshee. If it was a strategy, it didn't work. Serenity targeting Amber from the start. And finally, I believe it was Kay who did it, Keitara, finally, and Serenity did not last long at all. Kay gets rid of Amber at last, just in time for Jennifer Astorio to enter the field. And there goes Glix. We already have our last 4. Jennifer fresh at number 30. Lucette, though, very recent herself. Neither 4 of these have been in the ring for too terribly long. It could go any way, but you have to give the advantage to the powerhouse, Jennifer Astorio. Keitara looking to get rid of Calypso, not able to do so. Lucette trying to take advantage. Kay positioning herself to recover well. Oh, Lucette barely survived that. Managed to get, I think, a stray leg caught the temple of Calypso to prevent her from following through. Running punch takes down Forrester. And Kay, neckbreaker, takes down Astorio. Somehow Lucette gets Jennifer up onto the shoulders, plants her down. Lucette taking a clothesline for her trouble. Astorio was not happy about that. Kay goes over, big boot, saved by Astorio, but I think that was more Astorio wanting to do damage in revenge to Forrester than any kind of desire to help Keitara. Locks up with Calypso, sends her over to the rope. And muscling Jeneth over. Super kick by Calypso Dominguez. Jeneth Astorio eliminated. What a shock upset. Calypso Dominguez super kick eliminates Astorio. We are down to 3. Lucette Forrester, Calypso Dominguez, and the debuting Keitara. What a message it was sent if it's Kay who is able to claim that victory, that title shot immediately. And plants, though, down goes Keitara by Forrester. Oh, countered by Keitara. Oh, thrown over, wrapped around. Calypso sent down by Forrester. Flying kick by Kay. And snap. Lucette sensibly rolling under the bottom rope to catch her breath a little bit. Okay, is that Kay done? Can Calypso finish this through? I think that might be it. That's not going to be good for Keitara, and she's down. Calypso Dominguez and Lucette Forrester are your final 2. One of these women will be setting a date with Presri D. Bold move by Calypso using that middle rope, but it paid off. Running a drop kick. Canadian Destroyer to Forrester. Calypso in a strong position. Is this going to be it for Dominguez? Will the Dangerous Alliance claim singles gold? They may well do. Sends Forrester over. It is Calypso Dominguez who wins the Overboard Royal Rumble. Taking out both Keitara and then Lucette Forrester, Calypso scores the victory. They were picked apart by the Circle for the DAG division, but there is no keeping the Dangerous Alliance down. Calypso Dominguez follows through and earns herself a title shot against Presri D. Very much stepping out of her older sister Teresa's shadow. Calypso looking to break out as a singles performer, as she has the opportunity to do exactly that. What a field we saw. New clout chasers who we will be learning far more about in the coming weeks. And that is our main event. This has been All Influencer Wrestling Overboard. Gabriel Van Hessel, Calypso Dominguez, both earning themselves guaranteed title shots in the future. Avric Brightmoon continuing his his reign with that Soul Clout title. Who other than Gabriel Van Hessel is going to be targeting Avric in future? And we saw Saria put away Banshee. What is next for both of those two? We are far from done here in All Influencer Wrestling. We have much more coming in the coming weeks. Again, we have multiple new clout chasers debuted we need to see a lot more of. I need to dig in and figure out what the hell those 2 entrants were in the first Rumble match. That was very confusing. But phenomenal showing too by Amber, Warren, and Tiff, both the MVPs of their matches. What's that going to mean for both of those two in future as well? We'll find out how things roll out in the coming weeks, but for now, I have been your Clout Missioner, Captain Tyriant Guidel. We will see you back on Thursday to find out what the fallout from this is on the next episode of All Influencer Wrestling Broadside. But for now, have a great week, and remember to stay #out for Clout.